Hey everybody, today I want to talk about cold turkey method and why it doesn't really work that well. So what's cold turkey? Cold turkey is just quitting something outright, just saying, in the case of scrolling, I'm just never going to go on Instagram again. I'm going to block the app completely. I'm just never going to go on it. I'm going to delete my account, etc. That can work, and it can work for some people, and there's numerous stories of that happening. But there's a couple reasons why it's not super successful. Hold on one second here. We got a little GG sighting. So why doesn't that work? Well, there's a couple of things working against you when you try to quit cold turkey. The first thing is it's an immense draw on your willpower. Now I'm going to take just a brief moment here to redefine willpower a little bit. My definition of willpower is our capacity to make new commitments. Okay? And everything's a commitment. Getting up in the morning is a commitment. Going to work is a commitment. Making dinner is a commitment. Doing the dishes is a commitment. Going to bed on time is a commitment. And we make 1,000 commitments every day, and we have 1,000 commitments that come with just living in a society. And to quit cold turkey is an immense commitment, a decision to stop doing something that might be a very big part of your life. And that is a huge draw upon your willpower. And it's really hard to keep that commitment. You'll end up reinstalling the app. You'll end up creating the account again. You'll do anything you can, because that's a big break. That's a huge commitment, and it's really hard to do. The other thing working against you in that case is that it's, for whatever reason, really easy for us to break commitments to ourselves, and not necessarily to other people. If we tell someone else we're going to do something, at least me, I have a really hard time breaking that commitment. But if I just tell it to myself, that's a little easier to break. Sorry, I got a cat sitting between my legs here. And I don't know, that's part of why we're so successful as a species, is that we can work together and we can hold these commitments to each other. But when it's something to yourself, we're kind of working against the grain here. It doesn't really work. So what can we do instead? So instead of trying to make this giant change, you want to make very small commitments that are really easy to keep. And there's this great book out there. Check it out. It's called Tiny Experiments. It talks about the experimental mindset, and it's just about cultivating a culture, a habit of experimenting, just trying different things. And this works because trying something for a set amount of time is a small commitment. It's easy to do. So for example, when it comes to scrolling, commit to putting the phone away after 9 o'clock at night, not using it, just for a week. Not forever. You're not quitting cold turkey. You're committing to just experimenting with one habit change. And then after a week, you kind of reevaluate. See, did that work or didn't it work? Okay, maybe there was something that worked there. Let's try it again, or let's change it a little bit. Let's try a new experiment. Or maybe you experiment with, let's try unsubscribing to things that aren't serving me in the moment when I see them. It's not using the platform, it's just kind of creating a new commitment. Let's just try that for a week. Let's unsubscribe to something once a day, one thing a day. That's it. Those things are a lot easier for us to do, and to keep those commitments to ourselves. It draws down on our willpower at a much smaller rate, and those commitments are a lot easier to keep. If you do go cold turkey, you really need to take advantage of, and this is for any kind of commitment, is take advantage of the fact that we can meet commitments to each other more than we can to ourselves. That's why accountability partners work. Essentially, find someone else that's doing the same thing, or a group of people, decide we're all going to try this thing, and then hold each other accountable. Make a commitment to everybody else that I'm not going to do this thing. And if you combine both of those together, of tiny experiments plus accountability groups, that's where real magic can happen. Hey, let's all experiment doing this one thing. And then after that week, Let's share what we learned, what worked for us, what didn't work. What works for someone else might not work for you, but what worked for you might be worthwhile to someone else. And that's really a way of superpowering habit change. So if you found this video at all useful, I would ask you to do a couple things. Like the video, that would be super helpful. Comment and share your story with anything that's related. And what would really help is if you'd subscribe to me and share this with other people that you know that might be dealing with the same issues. So together we can be more powerful. And so I want to create a community of people who are all trying to stop scrolling or minimize their phone use. So like, subscribe, comment, do it all. Thank you. Until next time, I'm Ryan Salzman. Thank you.